They're still scheduled.
Hey, there we are.
Now we are. There we are.
Yeah. There's a slight delay on my phone over here. It'll tell me when it's gone. You know, I think the other day I counted the delay. It's like a 11 to 12 second delay. So you know, if I had the ability to censor us, at least I would be on the other side. I would know that I got 11 seconds to get to that button and start hitting, you know, censor beeps and everything.
But we are TVMA, right?
Oh yeah,
MLA, DSV,
all that.
TVMA, DLSV. Yeah,
all that. We're all that.
Should we run our warning brand? Are we going to get out of hand today?
We may. We just may.
Ladies and gentlemen, we might get out of hand, so we want to remind you the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of IndieVolt Media, LLC, and do not reflect the official policy or position of any guest or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised.
Yeah, no crying. They'll cry. They just, you know,
they'll cry.
They're crying emails. I didn't like what you said on this date at this time. I like when they give me timestamps. That's like, well, yeah. Like,
let them all get triggered.
Like, I like when they send me timestamps and I can go right to the video and it plays at that time. Exactly what I said. It's awesome. Like, taken out of context, yes, that's what. I guess it sounds pretty bad, but
yep.
You know. Yeah, out of context, totally out of context. So let's go to our intro and we will start the show. Thanks for being in the chat, everyone. Thank you. I see Danae is here. Hey, hello.
Danae is in the house.
He had another white knuckled car vid the other day, and there was snow. I couldn't watch. My pulse got to pounding. It was horrible. I couldn't do it.
I saw you had to do it. Had to do it in 2 parts, so I was a little worried.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna run the intro and we will get started. Here we go now. Hello, everybody. Wow, there's a lot of beeping behind me all of a sudden. I guess a lot of stuff decided we just went live. So, hello, everybody. My name is Varian Grant. I am the founder of IndieVolt Media, LLC. Started making comics way back in 2008. I'm also the founder and co-founder of Last Call Comics, one of the Terraform founding 5. What else? Oh, owner of Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group. Yay! And I just do a lot. I do a lot in comics. I don't know why. Why.
Yay for liberty.
Yeah.
Hooray for liberty.
If I could just leave this liberty, if I leave this industry behind, it'd be great. Could be selling car parts on the side of the expressway.
You don't need to go back to your old job.
Yeah. What was that, Lola? Yeah. And then also chairperson of the IndieVolt Awards, which I don't have a voting position. I'm just a chairperson. I'm just a stuffed shirt. I sit there and say, here. That's all. I'm joined as always by the lovely Indie Princess. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm so sick, guys, but I'm here for you. I'm trying. So just bear with me if I have to leave early, which is a possibility. I'm sorry.
That's just because we couldn't get anybody to sponsor a vomit cam.
Yeah, you guys don't want to see that at all.
It's a puke cam sponsored by whoever. Yes.
You had you were sick this week. You didn't do your show Geekgasm last Wednesday, so I'm surprised you're here. So if you need to cut out, just let us know, and you can flee.
Thank you.
There she is.
All hail the Indie Princess.
All hail the Indie Princess.
Mm-hmm. She did manage to get on IndieVolt.com today. You did manage to get up book of the week, which is Seasons from Nandor Fox. So check that out. Go over to IndieVolt.com. Check out the book of the week.
Is that out yet? I bought into that campaign.
No, it's not out yet, but it is the book of the week. He's in demand, and he can use some more sales. So
cool.
Yeah. Tell him we need to get him on the Webtoon show, because we covered his Webtoon, which Seasons is on Webtoon. Mm-hmm. We really want to bring him in for an interview. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Absolutely.
All right. Milton dropped out, but he's back. He's in the green room. He's fixing himself. There we
He's
go.
on Mars. He's on the planet Mars.
Also, Randy Zim, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Hey, everybody. I'm Randy Zimmerman. You can call me Randy Zim. I am a longtime alternative and independent comics producer, publisher, freelancer. I've done anything that you can imagine in the direct market that you can think of. I retailed for over a decade. I distributed. I did my own stuff. I've self-published under the Arrow Comics brand, which I'm bringing back, Zero Comics 4.0. Also under, I freelanced for a ton of independent and small press companies over the years. And I had been doing a lot of work, commercial work for advertising and educational purposes, a lot of sequential artwork for that. But now I'm back and working to get into the direct market as Arrow Comics 4.0. And we're going to hit the ground running here at the last part of the year. It's going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to it. Oh, and I'm also part of the Indie Volt Radio Network.
There you go. Much better.
And a judge for the Indie Volt Awards.
Much better. There you go.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah.
Almost against my will.
Yeah.
Oh, stop complaining.
Okay.
I'm a judge too.
There we go.
Against her will as well.
How dare you?
Run over to IndieGoGo.com. Click on the if you're looking for art supplies, that is, click on the Dick Blick link at the bottom of the page.
Please.
They are offering to people who click on the link. They're offering, is it free shipping on orders 45 or more? $45 or more you spend, free shipping through that link. So go check that out, please. Mark Poulton is with us this week. Hello, Mark.
Hi, thanks for having me. 15-year vet of the industry. I've written for DC, Image Comics. I worked a lot with Rob Liefeld on Savage Hawkman for DC, Evangeline, Brigade, Bloodstrike. My son and I, we put out a all ages graphic novel called Pizza Tree, which was nominated for a Ringo Award a couple years ago.
Cool.
And recently I've been self-publishing thanks to crowdfunding, Graveyard Shift, US Assassin, and my current project, SeaDog and Codename Killswitch.
Cool. I've seen SeaDog and Killswitch, and I always think I need to buy into this, and then I forget. So I gotta figure that out. I gotta make sure I do that. Eric, on the other hand, always buys all the books, so he's like a library. I can go over there and borrow because there's no way he's gonna get through all of them in enough time. Personal friend of mine. He doesn't know it, but he doesn't know. I stop by Ted's table at every show. And I'm always messing with him about his tap dance killer, and he had a movie, and he still had. Well, I said he had, but he has a movie for his character, and I remember buying both, and then getting home and realizing that the movie was different from the comic in a really interesting way. It was very meta, and it made me feel like I was smarter for having read it. Hello, Ted Sikora. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, Varian. Thank you for having me back on.
Yeah, no problem. Give everybody your credentials. I know I just did, but you go ahead and do it.
Sure. So I came into comics about 10 years ago because of an independent film that we made, called Hero Tomorrow. Hero Tomorrow was about a guy who had an idea for a superhero. He couldn't get it published, but his girlfriend made him a costume of his own character, and he started running around in it trying to fight crime. So it debuted at Comic-Con International in 2006. And what happened is a lot of people who saw the film said, there's really nothing like this in comics. You guys ought to try it as a comic book. So we decided to make the book that was in his head. So it's not an adaptation of the movie at all. It's if he could have just got Apama published, that became Apama the Undiscovered Animal. And within that, we did 11 issues. In issue 5, we introduced the woman here behind me, Regina, who is the subject of our new book, Bloom. That's her origin story. It takes place in 1969. But then in issues 10 and 11, we did introduce Tap Dance Killer. And from Tap Dance Killer, we introduced Punchline. So, it's all a shared universe. And we are distributed through Diamond. But we're also doing crowdfunding to make up for the lost conventions.
I remember joking with you at a show. I said, I want to get a coat. I want my coat to be made out of Apama. And it'll be the softest forever. In chat, JD Calderon says, me too, damn. And Ragin, Raggin. Raggin is a low indie vote. Hello, Raggin. I see that. Raggin. I just think Ragin. Yeah. What?
Isn't it Ragin?
No, it's Raggin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's Raggin.
Raggin.
Yeah. Eric, how are you,
Hey.
sir?
Oh, I'm doing well. My name's Eric Hodson at Dreaded Dinosaur. Started in Indie Comics back in 2005 with my old Melby Comics series. Done a lot of work for various companies, especially in the trading card area. I am the creator of Roddy Piper, the Kilted Avenger, which you can get at ProWrestlingTees.com. Also the creator of Dreaded Dinosaur Man on Webtoon, which you can read for free. Soon to be launching my own book on crowdfunding to cover that property. And host of It Came From Webtoon, the Monday night 9 p.m. show here on Indie Vault, where we take a look at all those digital comics on Webtoon, sift through them, find ones we like, and tell you about them.
Which is I've been co-hosting that show for a couple weeks now, and
we don't have a card for that, or over here on this side, or I would have thrown it up.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, we do that show, and Eric is the one that always pulls up the comics, and you send it. Yeah, check this comic out. So I'll sit in bed and I'll read them, and I'll get hooked on them, and then I'm like, "There's no more." Oh, Milton, how are you this evening? Oh, he's muted. Let's see.
Unmute your mic.
There.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm good. It's late here, but no worries. I've been just drawing. I'm an artist. I'm mostly an artist, but I haven't done any serious work until now. I think my own project is my first serious work. I've been doing some commissions, some very small comics for independent creators, and I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and we'll take a look at some of that work from you, Milton, a little bit later in the evening. In the chat, from the Decimal Small Press Publisher in the chat says evening.
Yeah.
Evening,
Joe. How are you?
Good evening.
So, if everyone's seen the show before, they know how we do it. We'll put up a card. There's usually a question, and we talk about it. It's usually a question.
Sometimes a berating question. Yes.
Yeah. Now, I did not have an opportunity to put to make the card, but it's just one question tonight, and I think it'll take us a while to get through it because I know everyone has their own opinions, but we do have two questions from Indie Vote Radio. Indie Vote Radio now started pretty high this evening. Sorry, at 61,808. So I'll take that. So listening on Indie Vote Radio, 61,808 people listening. Thank you guys for listening. And right now they're listening.
We appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you tell your friends.
Yeah,
absolutely.
One little new feature they give me is that I can see now that there are people listening through the URL and through Alexa quite a bit. So
cool.
Which she heard me say her name, so now she's looking. I don't need anything, I promise.
She's adjusting the temperature in your house as we speak.
Yeah, she is.
She's ordering a pizza and calling the police too.
Yeah.
Suddenly turning on your porn. That might not be good.
Yeah, it'll pop on this TV back here.
Yeah.
You guys will see, it'll be horrible. So yeah, I'll do the first question, and this one is from Casey, and Casey says, "Hey guys, I've been seeing a lot of indie creators team up and do duo prints, team prints of a lot of their characters together, even comics where all the characters come together. I'm upset, and I think that this could end up being a big legal problem in the future if one of those characters turns out to be successful. I don't like doing it, but I'm seen as not a team player when I tell people I don't want to be a part of anything like that."
What are you afraid of, Casey? Don't be afraid. Step into that pool. It's all right. You're not going to hurt anything. What are you going to hurt?
I don't know.
If one of those properties does go big, all of a sudden you're in a book with that big property. If your property doesn't go big.
That's a good way to look at it. That's an interesting way to look at it. I think that.
What are you afraid of?
I'm a little bit more afraid because I'm like, what if my property? What if? I would just, I don't know. I know how money changes people, and I'd just be really freaked out that someone would all of a sudden then take. Oh well, I like that your character did this in that comic. So I'm going to make sure that my character does it from here on out. And I don't know.
It's not even that just that money changes people. Even the assumption of money or the illusion of power changes people. I don't know how many times I've been involved with a group of guys that want to do a company, make comics, and then egos come into it. And, you know, there's a push and play and just, you really see, the narcissism come out on some people and things just fall apart rapidly.
Yeah. I mean, I've avoided shared universe stuff like that, created my own, but I can control all that. And I mean, come on, I'm playing God. Well, it's fun. I get to play with all these characters' lives.
That's part of why I like self-publishing.
Yeah.
You know, being the top dog, or like I said, I'm really looking forward to Arrow Comics coming back, is because I'm the guy in charge, but I'm also the one to blame if something goes wrong. So
yeah, and
if I get into an argument or have to bitch somebody out, it'll usually be me.
No, they'll blame you. They'll blame you. Mark, what do you think about that?
So I'm actually kind of in this situation right now. My current book is SeaDog and Codename Killswitch. SeaDog is a character I created with my son Chase. Codename Killswitch are characters that the artist Clint Holinsky created and owns. So we have an agreement. We know that SeaDog is mine and my son's character. We own the rights to him. Codename Killswitch are Clint's characters. He owns the right to them. But we wanted to work together, and we just thought it would be cool to bring these guys together, almost like Marvel team up style, a way to introduce both our properties at the same time. Maybe eventually we'll split off, but we like the team up aspect. We like working together. So there hasn't been any issues with us working together. Like Randy said, you know, if one of the characters blows up and becomes big, well, the other one has their characters in a book with that popular character right now. So yeah, there hasn't been any issues. And I mean, team ups have been a staple of indie comics forever. When I started out my career in the 2000s, I was fortunate enough to get the use of Evangeline from Rob Liefeld for my character Coney Waves back in the early 2000s, and that only led to me getting to write Evangeline years later. So sometimes these team ups open up opportunities that wouldn't normally be there. Yeah.
Was it a situation where you kind of had free reign, or did they come in and said, no, you can't do this, can't do this?
Oh, with Rob and Evangeline?
Yeah.
No, Rob's always been great. He's always been real hands off when it comes to his characters. I think he enjoys trying to discover new talent and just letting them run wild with the reins. So yeah, it was a great experience working with his characters.
Ted, what do you think about that?
One of the selling points of our stuff is that it's like a shared universe, and that you're on board from the very beginning. So like you see the origin of the first superhero, the first villains, and so I've had people approach me about doing these crossovers, but the part of me that doesn't want to do it is I like that our stuff is just an easy ramp and there's no other super powered characters in our world. However, like Michael Watson had me on Chat and Draw, and he wanted to do a cross promotion where he did a print with Vigilance, his character, and Regina. And anybody who backed both campaigns got both prints. So he illustrated it, I'm coloring it. And I'm definitely open to some kind of crossovers, but for me it has to almost be like an interdimensional thing, so that we can leave our own, because our whole thing takes place in Cleveland, and we want it to be kind of intact the way we're, before we have a chance to, we want to have a chance to tell the story we want to tell before it gets blown up with a lot of other characters. So yeah, although I don't see the harm in it really, as long as everybody just kind of writes out what they want out of it.
Uh-oh.
If it makes sense, then that's great, because that's one of my pet peeves. If you're gonna do a crossover, make sure it makes sense. I remember reading this one book out, Witchblade Wolverine, which I'm like, oh, they're together. This is awesome. And they didn't explain why they were together. I mean, I opened the first page and Wolverine has his tongue in Sarah Pazzini's mouth, and I'm like, oh, it's one of those books, okay. And they were married. They got married. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why are they? And I think though they did the right thing. There was no need to try to give me a backstory about how Wolverine ended up in a Witchblade story and vice versa. Just pick up the book and go with it. It's an Elseworlds tale. And
you can always have your character wake up from a dream in the last page.
Yeah. Where am I? Oh, that's sometimes I wish I wake up from a dream. It never happens though. Milton, what do you think about that? You think you'd be afraid that your character's gonna blow up?
It depends. For example, the crossover subject. I've been talking to other creators about it, and it's like how you guys said it. If it's something interdimensional, because my universe doesn't match others, because there's already some past stories, and that wouldn't feel right. So yeah, it would have to be something like someone crossed the universe and joined. And for me, my character would have to discover the multiverse first. So I can only accept crossovers from that point on.
I think I could understand that. I think that I would have to make my character, because the world I've created is so damn dark. Like there's no superheroes there. There's just like the occult. Because I was lazy when I first started creating comics. I'm like, I'm not gonna figure out how a character got powers. That's lame. I know what I can do. This person's a demon, and this person's a werewolf. And it was easy. And there's a bunch of vampires. Yeah. That was really easy.
Well, what about Tipsy the gnome?
Well, Tipsy. The funny thing about Tipsy is people think Tipsy's a gnome. Tipsy. Here's the dark secret, everybody. Tipsy is not a gnome. Tipsy was only a gnome so I can get him in Flint Comics. Tipsy is Lola's uncle. He's a little person. The reason he has 4 fingers is because he got both pinkies blown off in Nam. He's seen some shit and he's an alcoholic. That's the truth. He dresses up like a gnome just to get by. That's the truth. Dark history of Tipsy. It's funny because he's my character's wife's uncle, and it's never explained why or how that's possible. This gnome who looks like no one else. He has this big, huge nose. He's short. Why is this gnome walking around with humans? He has 4 fingers. Everyone else has 5. But then again, you see my wife's family, and all of a sudden it makes sense.
You need to do a short story with that, a Tipsy testimonial.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Let's see in the chat. Pops fans that says good evening, friends. Good evening, Pops. Good evening.
Evening, Pops.
My problem is from this also publisher says the only problem is when the dynamic of the team up changes the agreement of the shared universe, and the shared universe changes. If a character breaks out and forces the other out of further team ups, then that is a problem. But outside of that, it's all gravy.
It's all gravy, baby.
One way to work around that is to say there's a multiverse. Yeah. Niobe Comics says word from Team Niobe fulfillment happens next week. He's in the middle of fulfilling. Just sent the comic to print, I believe. His second issue. Get him fulfilled. You got to get your stuff fulfilled, because if you don't, we'll find you.
Then you're unfulfilled.
Yeah. You have an unfulfilled feeling in your heart. IndieGoGo radio question, and it is from Dally, Daly. I'm sorry if I misspelled your name or mispronounced your name.
Dally?
I'll say Daly. Daly. Yeah. Daly says, hello, everyone. Wanted to know if there was any comic company you could take over, independent or mainstream, what would it be? Oh, that's a good question. Any comic company I could take over?
The easy answer is I want to fix Marvel.
Yeah. That's the easy answer. Let me fix Marvel.
I'd have to have a lot of autonomy before we did that. So,
yeah, well, Randy, you said DC, I believe, right? Was it DC?
Yeah, I'll take DC in a heartbeat. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They might be for sale.
Yeah.
Well, if they need anybody to run it, let me take over the reprint division. We'll be all good. I'll make you money.
How about you, Lola?
I'm not sure.
She wants Arrow's comics from Fantagraphics.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's gross. She'll just do adult comics all the time. She might as well do Hustler comics or something. That she take that over.
Yeah, I'll take adult comics over. That's what I'm doing anyways.
Yeah.
The return of Penthouse Comics.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Larry Flint, by the way.
Yes.
Mark Poulton, sir, what do you want to take? What do you want to take over? Which company?
I would take over Extreme Studios from 90s Image, Youngblood Brigade, Bloodstrike, all Rob Liefeld's characters, Prophet. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I could see that being fun. I was waiting for somebody to be like, I should give someone a sound by like, I'll take over Silverline. I'll push Roland Man on out and take over Roland's company. It'd be great. No, but I wouldn't do that. Roland's doing a great job over at Silverline. Ted, how about you?
It's I mean, Marvel. I've been a Marvel fan my whole life, but like, would I want to take it over? My God, I mean, I can barely handle the 3 books that we have, and like taking over. I mean, obviously, I'd have some help. But yeah, just for Spider-Man and Moon Knight, I'd be down with Marvel. I wanna. Those are 2 characters I would love to work with.
There you go.
Yeah, that's cool. Eric, you said Marvel?
Well, that was just me chiming in with what I thought we were all thinking. My real answer might surprise you. I have a real big heart for the Golden Age stuff, and some of my favorite things came from Gold Key. So I would want to get those original Gold Keys properties, especially Magnus Robot Fighter. I would love to be in control of doing that.
Yeah, I have a couple of his issues, and I never liked the way on one issue he was running and he chopped the robot in half, and he did it like with his palm like straight out, and I'm like,
oh yeah, no,
come on, man, you got to break your fingers. But
no, not him. He's like super.
He was trained.
Super trained.
I know the $6 million man when I see him.
Get that karate chop.
Yeah. How about you, Milton?
Maybe DC. I like Batman a lot, so I would like to work with Batman a lot, make great stories, maybe bring some of the past stuff back, at least the good ones, and try to make a good ending with them if people don't want it anymore.
Yeah, I think that'd be something I would do too. I think some comics, some characters would probably come to an end. Manga's done that for so many years. It might be time to retire some of these characters, push them on off, into sunset. All right, I'll use words
some
like
of
Apple.
them.
Yeah, I'll use words like Apple CEOs use. We're beginning to sunset this project.
Now let's combine these last 2 questions. What are some, if you could do your ultimate crossover from 2 universes, 2 different characters, your own like thing that you want to do, what are some of the things that what would be your passion project crossover wise?
I know. I have it. Cause I do all those crossover pieces, those parody pieces for my prints.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a Batman Punisher story in my head because thematically those 2 characters do not go together. They can't even be in the same room together. And it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be like Bad Boys, except for with angry white guys. And it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Damn it, I want to do it now. I can't. I'll get to anyway, go ahead. Somebody else.
Did you ever read those old Simonson Goodwin Manhunters? There's one story at the end. Yeah, there's a story in there where Manhunter and Batman cross over.
Yeah,
almost the same kind of thing, because he tells Batman to go away because he wants to kill things.
Yeah, because like I remember looking at,
you don't kill nobody. I go around and kill everybody. So leave us alone.
I remember looking
pretty much what he said.
There's a scene in Civil War where Punisher's killed some people, and he comes down into the hideout and he tells Captain America what he did, and Captain America like starts whooping Punisher's ass. He's kicking his ass all over the place, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Hit me!" And Cap won't. And Punisher looks up at Cap. He's like, "I won't fight back. Not to you." And I'm like, "Cuckery, cock! They cucked Punisher. He won't fight." But my boy Wolverine has 0 problems fighting Punisher, which is why I love Wolverine. He's 0 problems, and maybe because he's Canadian too. I need to move to Canada. Maybe I should move to Canada. Larry, tell me about how I can get it. Terry, see if Larry will sponsor me if I move to Canada. Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you haven't been keeping track of what's been going on up there.
No.
Yeah.
Anybody else got a crossover they're just dying to talk about?
Yeah.
In high school, I was working on Spider-Man versus Judge Dredd.
Ooh.
Dr. Doom needs him to go to this other dimension and to get something, and he picks Spider-Man to do this. He blackmails him because of his spider sense. He's going to have to do something that his spider sense will let him get through the mission. So I didn't get too far. I probably illustrated like 6 or 7 pages penciled, but yeah, there it is.
I always wanted to do all the Hanna-Barbera superheroes in a shared universe. I think that would be interesting.
They're not.
Well, it all depends on who you talk to, but I'd put them in a logical one.
What was that cartoon where they all got together and were looking for the perfect place?
That Future Quest thing?
It was a regular half-hour show.
Wacky Races?
Space adventures that they had for a while.
I don't think it was space.
It was like Yogi's Ark or something like that.
That was Laugh Olympics.
That might be it.
That they had all the funny animal characters. I'm talking like Space Ghost and Birdman and Mighty Mightor, Herculoids, Young Samson and Goliath.
Yeah. Well, Space Ghost has crossed over a number of people on this show.
Yeah, that's coast to coast. That doesn't count. Same thing with Harvey Birdman. It's just an embarrassment.
Attorney at law, sir.
Attorney at law. Whatever.
You say his whole name. Oh, PLLC.
It's not the Birdman I grew up with. Running around the house yelling, Birdman. Yeah.
How about you, Mark?
Maybe Booster Gold and Blue Beetle teaming up with Spider-Man and Deadpool.
Oh.
Yeah, I could see a lot of hijinks happening in that.
There'd be some crazy conversations going back and forth too.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. I would like that. Milton.
Funny enough, I don't really have a crossover in my mind that I would like to do. Not for now, at least.
Have they ever had Batman and Iron Man interact? Does anybody know?
Only fan arts, I think.
Yeah.
They had a Justice League Avengers crossover once.
Yeah, like
I think they teamed Captain America with Batman.
Yeah, I remember when they did the fight. I remember Batman versus Cap, and I was big Marvel fan, but I had my DC picks too. Well, I wanted to win those fights, and Wolverine won, which was fine with me. He beat Lobo, which come on, Lobo versus Logan. Yeah. But I didn't think this storm should have came out on top against Wonder Woman, but then a friend of mine was like, dude, she controls the weather. Like a couple of lightning bolts to put anybody down. And so I was okay with that. But did not like the outcome of the Captain America Batman fight. It was basically a draw.
No, but Batman won because
the
water, they saved him or something. The best one was Submariner versus Aquaman. That was pretty good.
Yeah, man, there's so many of them. I gotta go back and look at that series of books.
Can I throw down one more?
Sure, go ahead.
I'd love to see Dr. Doom whoop Darth Vader's ass and say, "Who's your daddy?"
My big one would be Iron Man and Magnus Robot Fighter. And my idea for the story, year 4000, the relative of Tony Stark, Augustus Stark, finds the secret bunker with his ancestors' technology in it. All the suits, all the stuff to make it. Jarvis, everything gets it all back online and and creates a new suit to go out and challenge Magnus Robot Fighter. For my birthday, my 26th birthday, I commissioned Bob Layton, so I've got hanging in my studio here Iron Man versus Magnus piece, and it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
it's one of the few things I'll grab in a fire if I have to get out of here.
Naomi comments says he take over Antarctic Press.
Why?
I do the heck out of Image. Bring back the '90s. Says as Kivo art. I would either take over the '90s Image and actually add story to the art they did, or '70s comics and fix it, drop the ball. of a lot of the breakout characters. I'm sorry, I'm behind on some of this. Neighbor with Rags, Punchline with Cayman America, Simonson. He says, I recently submitted my request to NR Press for an idea of how NR Press can start its own version of a shared hero universe. And those 4 books I named above is a key. Smash that like people, says Pops. Exactly.
That's a great idea.
And he said, come on up. He said, come on up. Yeah, I'm headed. It's only like 45 minutes from my door. You can head to be in Windsor in 45 minutes.
45 minutes, 2 weeks, and a C19 test.
Yeah.
And then another 2 weeks.
Joe says, no, Punisher did fight back due to his code. Didn't fight back. Captain America couldn't do any wrong in Frank Castle's eyes. Now Winter Soldier has a different. Yeah, again, his code, Punisher wouldn't fight back. Screw that. Fight back. You're a man. Damn it. I might beat this my ass. Unless you're my pops or something, you might be able to get a couple hits on me, Fantastic Adventures. Darkness and Spawn needs to do crossover. It feels so obvious and never been done. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Darkness and Spawn. Could see that. So yeah, let's. I don't know why I still got my Sketcher gloves on. I don't know what's wrong with my hands and why they feel funny. All right. So we are going to talk about some of these projects now. Mark, Lola brought it to my attention that a couple of weeks ago, you were actually the Indie Vote Book of the Week.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Yeah. She brought it to my attention. I'm not the editor-in-chief of IndieVote.com anymore. They kicked me out. So they don't tell me anything. So yeah, that's congratulations. And I just thought about that. When she told me, I'm like, oh, I gotta mention that. That had I known, had someone told me, but I'm not in the loop anymore over there. They don't tell me nothing. They just I could check the website, but again, when I'm fired and put out of my position, I'm not going back. It's like walking back to your old job. I stepped aside, but I stepped aside. I was forced. Anyway,
you fired yourself. Get over it.
Yeah. I fired my
I'm doing a lot with it.
So let's look at some of these projects. So I'm going to let me go. Oops, my private chat is okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Let's bring up the project from Mr. Ted Sikora, Bloom #1. I'm going to bring it up here because here we go. All right. Kickstarter. Oh, he's got 5 days to go. He's way past his goal. He's closing up in that $10,000 mark. How does it feel, Ted? How does it feel?
Oh, terrific. This story is the ground zero starting point of the Hero Tomorrow universe. It takes place in 1969, and it is the origin of Apama's arch nemesis, Regina, and you get her whole deal. I don't know if it's possible to play the trailer. It tells it much better than I could.
Yeah, let me play the trailer here. Let's go. Let's see here.
Bloom, the origin of a prophet. She's not a witch. She's not ancient. She's not possessed. She is an entity like no other. Bloom is a 4-issue series written and created by Ted Sikora with art by Butch Mappa. The year is 1969. Bloom, the origin of a prophet. Meet Ramsey, mechanic by day and aspiring comic book creator by night. One evening, when he tripped in the forest, he was bombarded by bizarre and mysterious glyphs. He tries to use the symbols to create a new villain, but he can't get it right until he goes to a festival and encounters Regina, a wild dancer, a free spirit. He invites Regina into the woods for a photo shoot. He paints the symbols onto her body, and then she becomes rated R for language, nudity. Photo cover featuring Alicia Lynn. Psychedelic A cover by the late great Bong Dazzle. Romance and mystery covers by Benito Gallego. Incentive cover by Donny Hadiwijawa. Or be drawn into the cult cover by Butch Mappa. Double-sized 48-page issue 1. Read blue. Experience blue. Live blue. Read it like your very soul depends on it. Blue, the origin of a prophet. This April, Regina's coming for you.
You know what I think? This world we're in right now is the fairy tale. And what's really real is on the other side.
I love it. I love it. That's a cool trailer. I like the Grindhouse aspect of the trailer. That's pretty cool.
Oh, thanks. It was kind of a cross between Grindhouse and Marvel Power Records from the 70s. If you ever got to hear those. Randy knows what I'm talking about.
That's a deep cut.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now I'm gonna scroll down. Now you're on Kickstarter, so people listen on the radio. If you want to check that out, it is Bloom #1, The Origin of a Prophet, over on Kickstarter. Couple different tiers. There's a PDF version, $5. He's got 50 backers. He's gonna be delivering this in March, so next month. So not a lot of time. He's probably headed right. He's probably headed to the printer.
All done.
Printers, I'm assuming. But you can pick up a printed copy anywhere in the world is shipping for, is that $12 plus shipping and handling. The free shipping in the USA though, so you got no choice but to get it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. But anyway, it was supposed to be solicited in April of last year, and Diamond called me and said, "Hey, this is the worst month ever to release a #1 issue. The preview guide wasn't even distributed." So we were waiting for cons to happen. They just didn't happen. In the meantime, the artist kept going. So he's got the first 3 issues of 4 illustrated. So we're ready to go. We're going to do a campaign every 2 months, actually, when it's also being solicited. So we got exclusives here you can't get through Diamond. And, you know, obviously I can sign it and all that other stuff too.
Yeah. Looks good. And you know, the comics that you've done, you know, Tap Dance Killer, Hero Tomorrow, comics has always put out, you know, Palma. I like the books because they're written, you write them in a way that I find they're smart, you know, not everything is spoon fed to you. There's things you figure out about the characters as you go on, which I really appreciate in the story. You know, you're better rather than I am, because that's spoon feed.
Well,
here you go, guys. Take this little bit of information and so let me see here. Let me go down now. There's $19 Regina cover. That's a photo cover. Felicia Lynn as Regina. Is that this cover here I'm looking at?
That is. Yeah, I met Alicia in Pittsburgh at a con, and she was actually set up doing cosplay right across from me. And when I spoke to her, I thought she had the most Regina vibe I'd ever come across. So, you know, she loved the character. And it turns out she sings back up in a rock band. Like she's, I said, we did a photo shoot like 3.5 weeks ago now. And she didn't just pose, she melded with the character.
That's cool. See, I had a friend that was going to cosplay one of my characters once, but we ended up not doing it because I forgot what happened, but I think they got pregnant or something. That looks cool. I like that cover. And it's, you know, it's got that 60s vibe to it too.
Yeah.
Now this cover here, I love this one.
Yeah, that's Donny Hadiwijawa. He's the artist on Punchline and the Vaudevillains and Tap Dance Killer.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
The colors by David Baff-Gallert.
Yeah. That's a gorgeous piece. Let me see. And all this is free shipping in the US. Yeah. Yep. Free shipping in the US. So if you pop over there, ladies and gentlemen, over on Kickstarter, you can get a hold of this book. Do it quickly though, because you only got, was it 5 days?
Yep. We're ending Sunday at 10.
There's the previews for Apama. I have this book. That one. I think the only one I don't have is Punchline. Don't think I have Punchline yet, but I know that I've got Tap Dance Killer and Apama. And yeah. Get over there now. Push this man over $10,000 so he can keep making comics. 243 backers. 5 days to go over on Kickstarter. Bloom #1, The Origin of a Prophet. Any questions for this gentleman?
For our radio audience, that's Bloom, BLOOM #1 over on Kickstarter.
I just said that.
Did you spell it?
No, I did not spell it. I didn't spell it.
Yeah, it sounded like you were saying boom.
No. Someone will type in.
Boom has enough problems on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
BLOOM, Bloom.
A sidebar to Bloom is this is actually somewhat autobiographical because I was creating a villain for Apama, and I had the idea to put symbols on a woman, and I bought a mannequin, and my wife thought I was crazy, and I went to a festival and I met a dancer who I thought was pretty good inspiration. We were going to do a photo shoot together. But at the time we said we were going to do a photo shoot, and then when we actually did, I wrote a whole screenplay about my imagination of what would happen if this photo shoot went really surreal and twisted. And then I had so we were shopping Bloom around as a movie for years. And then, came to realize how much I loved making comics, and that this is a much better just addition to the Hero Tomorrow comics universe, since it is sort of the launch point of it all.
Yeah. Funny thing about the comics is that I think that, when I got into comics, it was because, it was cheaper to make the movies. And, I had to worry about actors. I had to worry about set design. Any actor I wanted, I could get.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm totally into making comics now. I mean, I still shoot for a living as well. But comics is liberating as heck for a writer.
I believe you went up. We were watching.
Yes, we did. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, whoever.
And yeah, so it's going up. He'll be at $10,000 before the weekend. I guarantee you. But then I'll tell you when I see you next, you owe me a steak dinner. Don't forget that. Again, Bloom #1, The Origin of a Prophet over on Kickstarter. Check that out immediately. 5 days left to go.
Thank you.
Mark, we're going to look at your project next. As soon as I can put more information. There we go. Okay, there we go. Oops. Sure, you think I would have it all pulled up already, right, guys? I'd be somewhat professional. Nah, not here. Not here on Indie Vault. All right, SeaDog and Codename Killswitch Book #2.
Yeah, so the whole idea for this book came about when my previous book, Graveyard Shift, we were in our second campaign for that, and I was very fortunate. The Graveyard Shift books have done incredibly well on IndieGoGo. The second book did about like $175,000, and my whole family just got so wrapped up in the campaign, and they were asking me for updates every day. My son Chase, who's 10 and has always been involved in my comics career, we worked on like all ages stuff. He was like, "Dad, I don't want to do any kid stuff anymore. I want to do something cool like Graveyard Shift." And I was like, "Yeah, we can do some superhero stuff. What do you have in mind?" And we created the character SeaDog, and he is a puppy whose owner goes fishing and catches this medallion that he thinks would make a cool collar for his puppy. So he puts it on his puppy, and boom, he turns into SeaDog, superhero. Well, SeaDog loves being this humanoid dog so much he doesn't want to switch back to a puppy. So he creates a secret identity for himself when he's a civilian, and he's SeaDog the Rapper, spelled CDAWG. They both look they're the only dog creatures in their world. They have similar names, but no one can tell them apart. And at the time we were creating, he has in his hero form, he has super strength, He can fly, and he can turn into a fish. That was my son's idea, and we eventually adapted it until he can turn into any sea creature. So as we were coming up with this character, an old friend, Clint Holinsky, hit me up, and he had seen the Graveyard Shift campaign too, and he was like, "Hey, would you be interested in working together?" And I was like, "Yeah, I always loved your work." And I told him I had this idea, SeaDog, and he was like, "Well, I have these characters, codename Killswitch, and they're Clint knows I'm a big fan of the '90s, and his team is just made up of a bunch of analogs of '90s characters like Harley Quinn, Bad Rock, Spartan from Wildcats, Deadpool." And I was like, "Oh, I think SeaDog would get along really well with these characters." So we talked it out, and we came up with a story where our villain Shikari is kidnapping young metas to sell on the black market. He tries to kidnap a meta at one of SeaDog's rap concerts, and SeaDog stops it, but Shikari kidnaps SeaDog's owner Peter during the battle. So he has to team up with this government task force, codenamed Killswitch, to track him down and get his owner back. So that's where book 2 picks up.
I'm going to play the trailer for book 2 real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. It's a roll call of all the characters.
Okay.
SeaDog and Codename Killswitch return in an all-new 48-page graphic novel by Mark Poulton and Clint Holinsky, featuring SeaDog, Soldier 7, Rebel, Tundra, Neon, Stormborn, and Crotch Rocket. Only on IndieGoGo.
I love it. Crotch Rocket. That's awesome.
Everyone loves Crotch Rocket. Yeah. So the book's been a lot of fun to do. This second volume, we do a lot of world building in it, expand the universe. We travel to different worlds, introduce new heroes, new villains. We're really happy with how the campaign's going. The first book did about 12,000 during our 60-day campaign, and after the first 30 days, we were already past 12,000 for this book. So it's going well. I think one of the reasons is there's a lot of happy customers from the first one because we fulfilled 2 months early. We plan to we set the fulfillment date for July for this volume, but I think we're going to fulfill early again on this one too. Clint hopes to have all the artwork wrapped up by the end of this campaign, and then our colorist Andrew Dahlhaus, who color in a bunch of books, usually works with Brett Booth. Whatever Brett Booth is working on, Andrew seems to be the colorist of it. But Clint and Andrew make a great team. Once Clint's done with his pages, Andrew just has to color it up, and we'll go to print. That's it.
You got the triple threat cover here. That's they're shipping it worldwide too. Again, for radio listeners, so you guys know these titles. The last 2 titles have been shipping. They're shipping worldwide. Book 2 regular cover, $25. How many pages are we talking?
48 pages.
48 pages. Sweet. And then there's is there a Dan Fraga variant cover?
Yeah, so Dan was awesome enough to agree to do a cover for us. He's super busy right now with storyboards and his own project, Black Flag, but he gave us a layout of his cover. So we're hoping we'll get that Fraga cover soon so we can show it off, and I think it'll be a nice little bump for our campaign.
I like it.
And then we have a book 1 reprint featuring a John Malin line art cover.
Nice. Cool.
Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I cannot stand by while SeaDog, the rapper, is a rapper with no CD. So you got to add a CD tier to this. Go ahead.
First campaign, we actually had a single for SeaDog.
That's cool. I do like that you guys have done that with SeaDog, DAWG. That's funny. I'm not that's not gonna get out of my head all night. You'll see. What is this here? We got the
So
Babe boxes.
Yeah, the Babe box. It's a collector's box. I actually have one right here if you want to pull me up. So it has Clint's artwork on the front, the title on both spines. It has a magnetic closing, and inside will come with all 5 books. It'll be the 3 variant covers from book 1, the 2 variant covers from book 2. It'll have a sketch from Clint in it, a sketch from me, trading cards, mini prints, and we just added a SeaDog pop socket to it. So you're going to get a ton of stuff in this. I've tried the collector boxes with my other campaign, U.S. Assassin, recently, and it was a big hit. So I wanted to do one for SeaDog and Codename Killswitch too.
Very cool. I like the collector boxes. I haven't gotten any of them yet, but I like them. Yeah. I mean, I've backed them. I just haven't received them in the mail yet. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, I guess no, that wasn't a box. That was a big book. Yeah, so that doesn't count. Yeah. Very nice artwork here. So in the collector's box, if they back the collector's box, they basically get everything.
Yeah, everything we've put out over our 2 campaigns.
That'll set you back $200, folks. But that's, I mean, it gets a good deal. You're gonna get all kind of stuff, some stuff exclusive to that box that you can't get outside of it. Quit being cheap. Go over there and get it. It's got 13 of the moves so far. Could use a couple more. I mean, hey, listen, you know, the cool thing about those boxes, a lot of times those are print to order. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, we're only making as many as are ordered.
Right. So you have a true collector's item there that, you know, other people will want, possibly try to steal. I've had some comics people try to steal, some trades. When people realize that I got the original Killing Joke, they're like, Can I read this? You can read the facsimile copy is what you can read. Don't touch that one. That one sits on the bookshelf in the little bag. Yeah. Killswitch, SeaDog, and Codename Killswitch Book 2 over on IndieGoGo, folks. Go over there. You got 21 days. So if you listen to this tomorrow or the day after, remember you got 21 days to go over there and back this campaign.
If you're a fan of 90s comics, you're not going to be disappointed.
No.
Not at all.
I kind of want the box, man.
Go for it, dude. You. I know you personally. You're a big '90s comics fan. You will love this.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, yeah, because I do want to tell everybody one thing. By the way, a couple of months ago, no, actually last year, late 2019, everybody laughed at me when I was going through all the comic book stores. And I was buying up a lot of 90s comics, and I kept buying up copies of X-Force #1 with that Deadpool card in the back.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That Deadpool card is for what, $60-$70 now? I'm rich. I am rich, and you're not. Nah. Nah. No, I think I bought that book like. Because a guy was selling them for like 35 cents to 50 cents a piece, and I'm like, I'll take them. Why not? So I bought like $10 over the same comic, and now I am rich. I should sell them very quickly though before people realize that they're idiots. Anyway, let's put up the next book. That was SeaDog and Codename Killswitch Book 2 from Mark Poulton on IndieGoGo. Go check that book out immediately. Now, what do we have here? Next is Raptor, the Preamble. Tell us about it, because it looks cool. I like the art. The first thing that stuck out was this character here with the hood on. I'm jealous. Wish I created him.
So Raptor the Preamble is an origin story, but at the same time is an event that will unchain this new universe I'm creating. So superheroes have been illegal before that, and Raptor decides to step into the light, and he has to do what he has to do. He was a military guy. He had military training, but he was sent home to get a better life. But there's evil that lurks around from the past, and it's an alien empire that tried to conquer Earth. years before, and his father died during that year, during that war. So that's why he went to military training, to prevent any other threats like that. Well, he's forced to step into the shoes of a hero. Mainly his best friend convinced him to step into that life.
I'm going to play the trailer here for everyone. Let me see here. Here we go.
Hi there, my name is Milton Aguiar, and I'm the artist and co-creator of Raptor. For years, I've been developing this character and the universe around him. I've teamed up with my buddies Ryan Hawk to write the script, and Bruce Buhueku, who's been building this world with me since I've met him. This right here is a digital prototype of how the book should be when it gets printed. I put so much effort into these pages to give you the best art I possibly can currently. Before you jump onto the story, you'll find this page, where we thank you for backing this book. You'll find your name there, among others. At the end, there will be a fan art section. It will contain some backers' fan art with their names and social media accounts. The cover contains art that connects with the back cover. This only applies to the IndieGoGo exclusive, so you better hurry up and get a copy for you. It will be glossy and harder than the interior to conserve it for longer. This book has been my personal dream, and we can't wait to show you what comes next and in the future.
My name is Ryan. I am the writer and co-plotter of Raptor the Preamble. We've been working on this character for a long time, and I'm so excited to finally be able to present this to you guys as a crowdfunding comic book. This book is going to be amazing. It has great art, a story that is really inspiring, and I think you guys are going to fall in love with Raptor as a character in his universe. So please don't hesitate to back the book and share it as much as possible. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Bruce. I am the co-creator / co-plotter of the Raptor series. I would appreciate if you back this book here on IndieGoGo, because I think it's a new take on the whole superhero genre, with amazing writing done by Ryan Hawk and amazing, beautiful art, expressive art done by Milton Aguiar. And yes, I think you guys are going to love reading it.
I've been working so hard on this book, and I really can't wait to work on more of these.
Very nice work. Very nice work. Now, you got 45 days left, but if you had a fixed goal, $1,462 is where you're at now. Your goal is $4,374. Over on IndieGoGo, definitely doable. I mean, you got 45 days, so you're doing pretty good. These books are shipping worldwide. Now, I love this book. I love to look at these characters, especially this back cover here.
Yeah, thanks. It was hard to do that.
Eric, how come you don't draw like that?
I draw like this sometimes.
I love it. Like sometimes the question is, how come I don't draw like that? It's like you got to get me to the table to actually draw before.
Yeah, how come you don't draw?
Yeah. It's like no drawing. I plugged up my tablet yesterday. That's gotta stand for something, right? Let's see here. Now there's a couple different tiers here. We got the hometown hero. Now this is set in pound, right? So it's $24 US. And that's the regular version of the book, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, the sidekick, is that a PDF?
Yeah.
Okay. Vigilante is the comic, and then there's a sketch cover. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. $30 here in the US. Earthly Protector. Explain that one to me.
It's the book, but it comes with a poster.
Okay. Oh, shirt. See, I like shirts, but my wife takes them, and so I don't. Yeah. They look better on me. Yeah. I hate people stealing my shirts. Again, the art in here is fantastic. How long does it take you to? You say you've been working on it for a couple years. What?
Yeah, I've been creating the universe and the characters for quite some years now. But the book itself, I've been working since last year. I've been busy with college, so it takes a bit bit of the time.
I always ask that now because I think about my own experience, and I guess everyone here can probably attest to this. But the stories that you don't put out right away, and how often the characters change from when you first conceive them to when they finally are finished or realized on the page, is it's really shocking. I have the benefit of having drawn a comic once and not releasing it because I hated it, and doing it now. And I'm looking back at the characters. Some of the characters, I don't even they don't even resemble themselves in that first version anymore. Is that would you say that's fairly safe for everybody here?
Yeah. It was in the beginning, the character was very much a Batman-like character.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so as the years passed, I started to change the way he was, what he used to fight crime, his story, his looks. Yeah, I started to change everything.
Cool. So you got a number of days to get over there and get this one, but don't take your time. Get over there now. It's over on IndieGoGo, so it's you want to get over there very quickly. He's now the books will be printed and shipped to you. He's looking at July 2021. So again, not that long. You know what I like too about crowdfunding is there's something new always arrives in the mail. Like every month something new comes, which is that's always cool. It's like drunk Christmas. You guys ever did that? Get drunk, go online, just order a bunch of stuff, and you forget what's coming.
Yeah.
Like get yourself like $50. Go get drunk, go on Wish, and order stuff and see what happens. See what you get in the mail.
I mean, that's just $50 worth of buyer's remorse.
You might get some cool like I don't know, fake coins or something. I got fake money from Wish. That was awesome. And the way it came in the mail, I could tell that they have gone through the post office, or like customs had gone through it, because it's American. It's printed. It's the same size as our money, but it has Chinese lettering on it. And I bought it for a movie. I'm keeping it because when the Chinese eventually take us over, that's how the money's gonna look anyway.
Yeah, so, it's money from the future.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hanging on to it. I'm not getting rid of it. It feels a little funny, but I might be able to buy some stuff. Again, Raptor, the preamble, over on IndieGoGo. I'm gonna put the link in the on the video itself, so everyone will be able to go there and check it out. Yeah, we went through all the
and for our radio audience, that was Raptor, Raptor.
Mm-hmm. Raptor.
I was just going to say Raptor looks awesome. I backed it day one when I saw it. So yeah.
You see, I've done that before. I've backed some campaigns. I have a bad look when I do that, because I'll back a campaign day one, and then I'm like the last to get my book, and I'm like, how was this being sent out alphabetically? But it sucks. But yeah, I still don't have
you've gotten
some books.
Well, when you fulfill
before I've gotten them. So
yes, but see when I get books before you gotten them, I have mine. I no longer care. I'm happy. And then when you get yours weeks in advance, I'm like, what the hell? Am I not loved? And that's happened because Randy, Eric, and myself don't live that far from each other. And there's been times where we know the person sent our books at the same time, but yet they come at ridiculously staggered different times. And it's like,
yeah,
what's going on here? It's because I'm black, isn't it? That's what I usually tell everyone. I see what's happening here. The mail's messing with me. Guys, I gotta pay a few bills here first with some ads. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. No one move at all.
Come on to the Geekatron. It's the place where all geeks will feel at home. Yeah, RPGs, card games, and nerd culture. Comic books, geek lights, and dope posters. And if you're up late at night, then watch out, you might get the bite of a zombie, right? Roll dice for the best D&T merchandise. It's the place to find something you searched all your life. Say, get into the Geekatron. 534 Brookline Boulevard, come on. Say, get into the Geekatron. It's the place where all geeks will feel at home.
All right, cool. Geekadrone Comics in Pittsburgh. If you haven't got a chance to get down there, call old Paul up. He's a good guy and a big fan of and friend of indie comics. We talk often about the industry. And if you have not heard, Randy mentioned it earlier. Randy's a judge for the Indie Volt Awards comic book show coming to you September 18th from Dave and Buster's. Yay! It's gonna be live event and streamed over the internet. Here is the ad for that. For all of you who might not know about it, I'm gonna play that ad now. All right, sweet, got through that. Yeah, so the Indie Comic Awards, September 18th. Submit your books over at indievoltawards.com now. Deadline, the first deadline is creeping up. There is a submission fee. That submission fee goes to Autism Speaks, which is a charity that helps folks with autism, especially children dealing with autism or spectrum on the spectrum. So it definitely is a worthwhile fee to pay if you have to pay a fee anywhere. Hey, there's been a couple. There's a lot of different submissions, and I seen the trophy design today, and I'm upset that I can't enter. I'm upset that I can't enter and rig the award, like for me, because
just make an extra one for yourself. Put participant on it. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna put like king of everything, and this Indie Vote founder like sympathy award or something, participation award. Can I get up my? I think I deserve something. I only started the company. It's not fair. Anyway, but no, the cool thing about it is, we've said it before. It is an award show that is based on merit and based on just quality of the comics. It's not, I think Eric always says it's not a popularity contest.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do something that was gonna, we're gonna look at all these fantastic books and truly, pick out the standouts, which is actually hard to do. Because people, it's like so many of the books are good, but what we're looking for is just to highlight the best. So, it's going to be live from Dave and Buster's. I can't wait to see everybody. I know we've been lifting restrictions lately, so I'm hoping that, we can all get together. People will be fed. People will be fed.
Keep your fingers crossed.
At this award show. It's going to be like the Oscars for comics, indie comics.
Yep, that's what we're trying to build, and it's going to be great. I'll be doing some of the hosting, and I'm looking forward to hamming it up on stage and doing some nice little anecdotes about all of the various people that we've got coming in. We've got a Hall of Fame too.
Yeah. Hall of Fame, which will be starting to announce who's in those who's joined the Hall of Fame. It was going to be 2 weeks ago, but we're waiting because apparently I have to do video presentations of everyone. So it has to be a big deal. It's like, really? Okay. All right. So yeah, video. We have one person who knows they're going to Hall of Fame. And we're gonna announce that person probably next week. We'll start. Also,
I didn't know Krista was eligible.
No. She's not eligible at all. She can't go in there. And it's funny.
No.
Again, none of the judges can enter their books for consideration. None of the man. And I was told I was out. So no matter what I do, I can't enter until I leave this company, which,
can always step down the year that you produce a book.
Yeah. So I'll be stepping down.
Whichever year in the future that will be.
Yeah, 2032. You guys watch out. I'm going to step down that year. I'm going to step down.
Here comes Barry and then his walker.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this award.
Yeah. It took me 80 years to get it.
It's about time.
Yeah. Yeah. I should be able to go into the Indie Vote Hall of Fame, though. I should be able to do that. It came right. It says, will the winners get free airfare to the award show? No. However, we are working on some different things for people. There's some hotels that might be willing to let people stay. Yeah. Very discounted rates. All nice hotels too that are at close to and by the venue. Also been in talks with a transportation company, a limo company that will be providing nominees with rides from their hotel to the venue where we'll be doing the event from.
Not only that, but we want this to be a real prestigious award. So future award shows are going to go to different cities all throughout the country. So you never know where the next year's award show is going to be until it's announced.
Oh, I know now.
Well, you know now.
I'm not gonna sell anybody. Yeah.
You have secrets.
Yeah. I have secrets. I'm young.
I don't even want to know.
Secret.
It's not Philadelphia, is it?
No.
Okay, good. I've been to Philadelphia once.
All you need is a cheesesteak, then you can go home.
Yeah, no, we are. But no, it's the event is going to move around year by year to different cities. It'll probably stay at Dave & Buster's venue, but here radio said go.
Dave & Buster's all the way across the country. So yeah,
come to New York so I can go. We're working on it. We'll probably announce where it's going to be at next year, maybe even after the show or the week after the show.
And we really can't build this into an Oscars for independent comics without you guys entering your books. And you don't have to enter your book per se. You can enter somebody else's book. Maybe there's somebody that's put out something that you're just so in love with, you think it's the greatest thing ever. Shell out $6, nominate that person for colorist of the year, artist of the year, or whatever you want. Let's get some recognition out there because there's been lots of great strides in indie comics in these last few years.
Oh yeah.
And we really need something that we own ourselves as independent publishers to recognize the people putting in the effort, doing the work, and really creating that meritocracy, really showing it can be done.
And speaking of awards too, by the way, I'll be doing IndieVolt will be helping the ICAs this weekend on the 28th. Helping with the Crowdfunding Awards over there. So it's award season, everybody. Start putting on your best faces. Maybe buy a tuck, clean yourself up a little bit, shave. I don't, but shave a little bit. And I also can't grow a full beard, so I don't have to really shave. So yeah, Normally when you see me with a full beard, I've done a lot of coloring, a lot of
makeup.
A lot of makeup.
Gotta get rid of that gray.
Yeah. Like you said though,
people might think you're old.
It's $5 for the title and then $1 per category. So the tops you're gonna pay, tops you'll pay $21, lowest you'll pay $6, but it's all going for charity.
If you're too cheap to pay this charitable donation to autistic kids, you're a terrible person.
You're horrible. You're horrible. No, I just, we didn't. The reason why the fee was there was some of the sponsors would not let me have the fee. Not the sponsors that are listed on the page. Some of the other sponsors who have been because we have gift bags for the nominees, and some of those sponsors was like, well, you need to have the submission fee because we want to make sure that they want to make sure people who were entering wanted to be there. So they said you had to have the submission fee. So I got the submission fee down to as low as I could. And then I said, hey, can we give it away to a charity? And they hemmed and hawed, but how can you fight that? So give it away. And so because my son is, they say he's a high functioning autistic, which he does some things sometimes. I'm like, boy. But he's I'm like it's touched my family. I was diagnosed with Asperger's when I was 30, so almost 8 years ago now as an adult. So it's touched my life, it's touched my family. So I figured, let me give them some money so that they can help continue figuring out, and helping people with autism. Also, CrowdCon, I'll be helping with that too this Saturday. Stepping in, do a panel. I think Lola's going to be with me on that one too. I believe. I could be wrong, but no, yes, maybe.
That's the first I'm hearing of it.
I don't think it was the first you're hearing of it. You don't listen to me.
You don't listen to me. But as long as I'm feeling good, I guess I will.
Yeah, fair enough. Mic's off. All right. So,
Can I say something? I gotta go. It's a bit late now.
Yeah,
It's just
what
fun
time
being
is it where
here.
you are, by the way? What time
Just
is it
fun
where
being
you are?
here.
Yeah.
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Okay. Yeah, you get out here and get
Oh,
some
wow.
sleep.
Yeah. Didn't mean to keep you
Yeah.
up.
We will talk to you very shortly. We'll keep an eye on your project.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. You have a good night.
Thanks a lot for
Thanks.
coming on. It's looking
Thanks,
good.
Milton.
Bye, guys.
Take care, Milton.
Take care.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure we put Milton's project back up there on the link. So if you're watching the video, you can scroll through. These links normally are evergreen. They stay there forever unless someone just takes all their work off the internet. So hopefully they don't do that. Now, Randy.
Sir.
This week you announced last week you announced you showed some covers. Did you show those covers live? You did show those covers live, right?
Did I do that?
I'm not sure if you did it live. You didn't do it live for Indie World. You have to do it.
I got one cover that we're sitting on for the campaign, but the other three are available for Revolt if you want to see what they look like over at the Arrow Comics 4.0 page over on Facebook.
Now, Randy, one of the things that we never really talk about is how almost slip of the tongue. I was like, how old Arrow Comics is.
How old Arrow? You can say how old Arrow Comics is. Real old.
You guys been around since what, the 80s?
It's the mid 80s, yeah. 84 was Ralph Griffith and Stuart Kerr decided to do Fantastic Fanzine, and they built that up to into a comic company. The first book that they printed was Tales from the Universe that I did along with Susan Van Camp. Then they did The Realm with some young kid named Guy Davis that Ralph and Stu wrote. And then they did Dead World that Ralph helped plot, and some other young kid named Vince Locke drew that book. Then there was Night Streets by Mark Bloodworth and System 7 by Mark Winfrey.
See, I can't remember all those names. I'm just like, after a while,
we all used to get together for pizza parties. It was a good time. That's how we all played off of one another and showed off our work, everything that we did for the week, and we razzed each other if we didn't do enough and that kind of stuff, and kept everybody producing. So, if you want to know how that worked, I did a episode of Sunday Funnies a couple of months ago. We caught Ralph and Stu together and gave them an interview about the Arrow, the origins and the founding of Arrow Comics and the inner workings of that part. Then Arrow Comics is always designed to be a creator-owned company, so everybody owned our own IPs. So after a little while, I took mine off and started self-publishing on my own, and Arrow kind of fell apart during the black and white bust. They were a bunch of guys getting together for pizza. They didn't, really keep track of their accounting or the legal or anything like that. So when the distributors went out of business, they were caught literally with their pants down, and with a lot of people owing them a lot of money. People that went on to other parts of the business, Sunrise distributors went out owing them tens of thousands of dollars, and Glenwood went out owing them tens of thousands of dollars. And when Arrow Comics stopped, they took and gave the rights for Dead World and The Realm over to Guy and Vince, who took them over to Caliber, and Gary Reed picked those up for them and kept publishing them. After a small bump over at Weeby Comics, I printed an issue of The Realm and a collection of Dead World, and then it went over to Gary.
I mentioned how old it was because it has a lot of legacy behind it.
There's a lot of history. Yeah,
I joke because I go online and I'll type in like different people I know. I'll type their name into Amazon and see what I pull up. Mm-hmm. So usually I pull up something from Randy and it'll be a book, and someone's asking like $60-$70 for it.
Oddball stray book. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, did you work on this? And sometimes I'm like, I forgot all about that book. And I wish I had books like that. I mean, I have books that I hope never get released that I've done. but you know, that's really cool. And I've sat at conventions with Randy.
Cartoon Kayfabe just did a video this week on Caliber Presents #1, and I'm sitting there going, please don't talk about the lettering. Please don't talk about the Night Streets lettering. Please just don't. It was really bad. And luckily they didn't even mention my name. So I'm like, whew, okay. Thank you. But it was a great book. At the time, you wouldn't, you never know what you're doing, or the relevance of it, until you're able to look back in history. But it had a Tim Vigil, Tim Tyler story. James O'Barr had a preview of The Crow. It had Mark Winfrey did a science fiction story in it. There was a Night Streets episode in it that I was able to letter. So I lettered a couple of the Night Streets for Arrow Comics. And then there was another story in the back that James O'Barr, Vince, and Guy had all gotten together on and done. It was another property that they were working up about military space Marines, pretty much Marines in the future kind of story. That was really cool. I never realized that there was a genre for it. They called it the Outlaw Comics Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, Randy, from Indie Vote Radio, and this is from Isaiah.
Hey, Isaiah.
Isaiah says, "Hey,
a good biblical name for you."
Yeah. He probably, yeah. I'll read this statement. We'll see how you feel about that. He says, "Hey guys, want to tell you about something that I had happen to me. I think it's a great nomination for Griff King of the Week."
Cool.
He says,
maybe not so cool.
But maybe not so cool for him.
Not so cool for you. Yeah.
What's happened is that he had signed his book over to be drawn by an artist that does it all. The artist draws, colors, letters, inks. He does everything. Well, unfortunately, he found through some research his book under a different name put out by the artist. Now, so here's what's happened. He's got his book as promised. He's paid, but now the artist has the book under a different name, and he's printing it himself. I read the letter carefully, so I don't say any names because I don't want someone to say, "Yeah, that's not what happened. You shouldn't have said that. I want you to make a retraction." But
I want an apology.
Yeah. But
that doesn't sound like a grift king to me. It sounds like a fraud king.
Same thing. So yeah, this person, this artist, will get the Griff King of the Week award. Here it is. When you are that dirty, that low, you son of a, you know what?
That's time to grab a lawyer. It really is. It doesn't matter how much money he made. It's time for if you have the money to make an example of this guy.
Yeah.
It's time to throw a little muscle.
Yeah. I want to sue people.
Pop off now, guys.
Have a good night, Lola.
You too.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Unless you want to see me throw up, I can stay on if you want to see me throw up.
Ooh.
Well, there's a market for that.
There is.
Anytime now. We're ready. No, just kidding.
She's not gonna do it. All right. Good night, Lola.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Take care.
Night.
Hope you're feeling better soon.
I'll try to come on for Geekgasm tomorrow. It's scheduled, so.
You better hope you come on because I'm not putting the wig on again.
Catch me tomorrow at 9 p.m. on Geekgasm.
Very well.
Take care.
Good night.
She's been feeling under the weather since last Wednesday. So since Valentine's Day, I think it's 14th. She's been feeling under the weather. So we'll see. Hopefully she feels better. Hopefully she starts being able to hold some food down. Otherwise, I personally love food. Eric.
Yes, sir.
What would you do in that case? You hired someone to draw your comic, and they now are presenting your comic. They've taken your company name off of it, your name off the book.
Well,
I know you're going to get a lawyer, but
yeah, well, see, this is a reason why you need to have contracts in the beginning of an arrangement like this. What you're doing, so that you know exactly what's legal, what's not legal. I was just going over another with a lawyer earlier today with my publisher for Roddy Piper. We have another project in the works, so we're trying to figure out what we want to change in the contract to offer to the next person, and going over the legalese of that and getting written specifically for this project. And when you're in a position like that, like this person is, where you're getting screwed, that's got to be something you've got to get addressed early on, because otherwise then you have to go hire legal counsel, go after this person. And I mean, that's your only recourse. Now, hopefully it's not a situation where you're penniless, they're penniless. There's really no reason for a lawyer to get involved. It's just going to be a shouting match between, in some aspects by that. But when you get into this business, you got to treat it like a business. You got to treat your characters as they are property. They are your intellectual property. Get them defended, get them guarded as much as possible, trademark, copyright, and have some contracts if you're going to work with other people.
I remember talking to a lawyer who told me his euphemism for it, or his colorful explanation for poor people suing each other, was two homeless bums arguing in the alley, like fighting over like a roll or a bottle of liquor. It's like, what's the point? And he's the guy who told me, hey, an NDA is only as good as the other person's pocketbook.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that person's worth suing. Otherwise, Mark, Ted, what do you guys think?
Like Eric said, you have to get an agreement right up front, as well as like protect your characters, protect your script, get it copyrighted, copyright your characters. It's a business.
Yeah. Ted?
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. I don't know that I have anything other than that to add. We've run into some weird things.
Yeah.
With our punchline character, but we're just gonna keep doing what we do.
Yeah, I remember that. We talked a little bit about that, because you had the punchline character. You had it first, and then here comes DC a couple of, about a year later, 2 years later, was it?
Yeah, almost. I guess a year and a half or so. Yeah.
Yeah, later, and hey, we've. We're not going to get into that because I'm pretty sure that you can't. But it's one of those things where I would like to. Randy had a situation where his character's helmet was stolen, but we won't get into that either.
My helmet?
The character of what's his name? Pigeon.
Oh.
Pigeon.
Yeah, it wasn't stolen. It's just it got cleared up real quick. Wasn't a problem. Just another character popped up right after mine did that looked amazingly similar.
Now, I am trying to figure out a way to conveniently steal Dinosaur Man from Eric. I have not figured out how to do it yet. I thought about having a man with a dinosaur body and just calling it like Manosaur, but now. Mark, funny thing, a couple years ago, I watched that Image documentary.
Yeah.
And in it, Rob Liefeld does a spot-on impression of Todd McFarlane. And I cackled when I first heard it. I mean, I couldn't believe he did that impression. And so I went on Twitter, and I said, hey, I watched this documentary, seeing the Todd McFarlane impersonation you did. How long did it take you to master it, and what does Todd think? Never thought that I'd get a response. An hour later, he responded. And it was really cool. I was like, holy shit. I hit save because, I print screen. I screenshotted it because I'm like, he responded, but he said that
got it framed on your wall.
Yeah. He said he is able to do it instantly. He didn't require any practice. And he never asked Todd what he thought about it. So I like to ask Todd what he thought about his impression.
Rob loves to do his Todd impersonation just from like hanging out with him at conventions with other friends. He he would do the Todd impersonation. If you listen to his podcast, Robservations, I feel like every episode he does a Todd impersonation at least once. So it's one of his I don't know, it's like his shtick almost, that he has to work his Rob impersonation or his Todd impersonation in there.
It's a really good impersonation. He sounds like him. The voice cadence is there. It's you know, I remember when I was younger, I used to think that I used to think Todd was mean. I thought he was like, I was like, he's a mean man. And then as I got older, I'm like, he's not that bad. You know, I think it was his segments before the Spawn cartoon. Because I was young. So I was like, what, 8 or 9, I think. It made me think that he was, you know, well, I was 8 or 9. My wife wasn't born yet. Yikes, that's scary. That's scary. But yeah, it was one of the, I thought, oh, he's so mean and dark. And then as I got older, I'm like, oh, he's just a guy like the rest of us. Any impressions? Yeah, I could do a good Randy impression. That's it.
Can I say something about Eric?
It's funny.
Well, when we made the movie Hero Tomorrow, there's a sort of a mushroom trip scene when this character has a dream about a squid that comes to life. And this was a dream I actually had myself. We put it into the movie. And I was like, who are we going to get to voice the squid? And I live in Cleveland, and I was working at a recording studio at the time. And the Crumb DVD was being put together, and they actually came into the studio to have Harvey Picar do a video, a commentary track on the Crumb DVD. Mm-hmm. So I got to meet him, and I said, man, we are looking for somebody to be the voice of the squid in this movie. It's just like 5-minute section of the movie. And everybody loved him in it. It was great. And I was like, I've just never heard a voice that could even come close to what the kind of personality Harvey had. Yeah. But then I heard Eric on the last time we were on the show, and I thought, man, he's almost got a Harvey Picar.
Oh, really?
Sounding voice. And
yeah,
this gives me hope that we can now possibly continue the story of the resilient squid, and perhaps we could get Eric to take over the reins of the great Harvey Picar.
Wow,
the voice
gosh.
talent.
I'm going to go blush.
I'm going to send you this scene.
Sure.
And, actually, I'll just post it in the private chat. You watch this scene. It's ridiculous. And yeah, I mean, the guy who designed it, this thing had movable eyes. It was crazy. It was like animatronic. And I've wanted to do more with this squid character.
You know, I remember watching the Harvey Picar movie, American Splendor, and that when Paul Giamatti was doing the voice, I said after watching it, you know, that's Eric's voice.
You said that too.
Yeah.
See, what this does for me is it gives me some hope, because one of my biggest hang-ups is my voice. I have bowed vocal cords as part of my medical condition, scleroderma, and Barrett's esophagus. It's all this weird precancerous garbage. But before this, I had a more alto, effeminate singing voice. I completely lost it because of all this. And it's basically years of the onset of my disease, vomiting almost every meal that I tried to eat. And it just tore up everything on the inside here. So I pretty much just always feel like my voice is garbage and ruined. And Ted is now number 5 to come in with high praise. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And if I can put it to good use, let's do it.
I just sent the link in the private chat. If you want to, it's a short little scene. You can pull it up here and just listen to, the first time he speaks probably comes like 1 or 2 minutes into it.
Awesome.
Okay, let me pull it up. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
I will, let me see. All right. Let me bring it up. The squid scene. Also, I'm going to show you guys. Also, this is sent to me. Pops is very happy. Pops had went on to Twitter, and he had taken a picture. Pops Van Zandt. Everyone knows Pops. He's but Rob retweeted. Pops holding up Was that X-Force #1? Yeah. And there it is. There it is. All right, let's pull up this video here. Make sure we hear the audio.
Movie within the movie.
Here we go. All right.
Start yet?
No.
Not cool, ass rat.
The Fall of the Resilient Squid. Once upon a time, there was a resilient squid who, thrown by the waves in a freighter once hit. The ship, which held sculptures from Indonesia to be sold, caught the squid amid its cargo, where it froze in the cold. Stiff as a rail and sporting a frown, the squid was sold to the city Buddha shop and mounted upside down. After 2 weeks, the squid thawed in a rage.
I am not a mere trinket. Let me out of this cage.
He stepped out of the city Buddha, showing the owner his middle tentacle. Several shocked patrons watched in awe of the spectacle. He took to the streets with a dream to be hired.
With my skills of the sea, you must see I'm admired.
Yes, he searched for some work, but he turned in a whirl when he met sweet, sweet Lily, the squid-loving girl. She loved the squid, swore she'd always be true.
If you only knew what those arms can do.
The squid became wise of all the slick gists. He was seen by most eyes on the best of dressed lists. He became a fact checker for the Cleveland Post. This was a squid who was surely the most. But then one day...
We worked hard all day. We're headed for the pub. It's just around the corner. Care to join us, Bob?
If only the squid would have then tagged along. But instead, the squid said,
Man, that scene is all wrong.
As he slid down the street from his hard day at work, he crossed over the path of a nearsighted jerk. It was a spandex-clad character who showed up in a pounce. He thought the squid was someone named Dr. Octopus, and he threw the squid to the ground. The squid didn't bounce. The jerk said, I've scoured the town for your eight-legged mug. Then he beat on the squid like a filthy old rug. When the squid was released from this strange judge and jury, he looked like what some restaurants serve you with curry. In a hospital bed, the squid lay all squished. This was not nearly for what he had wished. Through his eight-legged cast, he pondered the notion.
If I ever get better, it's back to the ocean.
Very good.
Wow, that was terrific.
Yeah, it was. That was really hot. That's good.
So yeah, I thought that the first time we were on this, I was on this show. I said, man,
Yeah.
I even told Rich. I said, you know what, Rich, there might be a chance for the squid. Because once Harvey passed away, I was just like, oh, forget it. That's it, because we always wanted to do a little more with that squid thing. But.
Yeah. I remember when Harvey passed. I was sad. I was sad. I remember I was I think one of the first times my wife saw me get really upset about someone passing. Normally when I would get pissed about my fish, She used to laugh at me because I get really upset when one of my fish died. Anyway, I take it back to the store. But when people, especially people I admire, go, nobody in her family though. Oh well. Make sure no one's behind me. All right.
Staring right at
Yeah, she can stare. She's staring at me now.
Suddenly, a wave of vomit hits the back of Marion's head.
Let's get around to find out where everyone's from and where they can be found on social media. We'll start with you, Mark. Where can you be found at, sir?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves, and on YouTube I have my own channel, Primetime Poulton.
Okay. All right. Cool. Sorry, I've seen a couple things here. Someone said good night, Lola. That was Paz Van Zandt. Good night. I was going to say disclaimer time. Yeah. AK Radio says Arrow Comics so old they used to be called Dark Comics.
Okay.
Let's see here. I can't. Rob sent a link in. I can't put the whole link up there, Rob. But it says
crap in.
It's 75 backers. Special indie creators are coming together in the spirit of cooperation with Level Comics. Once you reach 75 backers, a PDF pack with over 250 pages of comics will be delivered at the end of the campaign because you backed Enter the Continuum. That's from Terraform Comics. And then Mike McMahon says, love American Splendor. It's a great movie. I always, it's something else that I do too. When I see that movie, the DVD, like for under whenever I see it, I buy it. Even though I have a lot of copies, because there's always somebody I met or I meet who hasn't seen it. So I give them a copy. It was with Art School Confidential too. I finally got Eric to watch it, and he was like, "Oh, this is my life."
Yeah, that hurt. It hit me in the feels because I did go to art school. That movie's realistic as hell.
It's like you just sit there and just, man, it sucks. This is what happens. Says I saw Mitch McConnell sitting in the audience. Says
absolutely not. No, you did not.
It was probably just a random turtle.
Yeah. This is where can you be found, it, sir?
HeroTomorrow.com. But find me on Kickstarter and type Bloom into the subject line, and that's where we'll be living for 5 more days. Mm-hmm. But Facebook, Twitter, Ted Sikora.
Any chances we might get a Hero Tomorrow collector's box? Take a lesson from Mark over there.
Well, when we did the Apama Volume 1, we did a special edition Blu-ray. So we went back, remastered everything. There's 4 hours of material on that thing.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you're talking about comics.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark's idea. I like that, Mark. There is a tier where you get everything, but it's not in a fancy box. So I might ask you where you got that.
Yeah, hit me up.
I will.
And you can still get Hero Tomorrow, the Blu-ray from HeroTomorrowComics.com, right? Yeah. It's not on IndieVolt TV, not yet. I'll work out a deal with Ted. Don't worry. We're gonna work out a deal sometime. We'll get it up there for like a month or two for you guys to go watch. It's a really good movie.
Thank you.
So we're gonna get out of here. But listen, everybody, if you want to send in your questions for me to not put on the card, which I didn't do this week, we'll do it next week. IndieVolt Live at IndieVolt.com. Please include IndieVolt Live in the subject and keep those emails to 90 words or less so that I can put them on that card and pull them up. Remember, as Randy always says, no question is too big or too small. And remember,
our feedback will be better because of your setback. Hashtag get an education. Hashtag IndieVolt.
That's right. Also, right now, listening live to us, 82,402 people worldwide on IndieVolt Radio. Thank you guys for listening. Really appreciate it. You can be a part of that number by downloading the IndieVolt Radio app on Google Play, Alexa, or Streamer. If you have an Apple iPhone, download the Streamer app and type in IndieVolt Radio. There's a couple other ways too. You can also go to IndieVolt.com, go to the bottom of the page. There's a player there that lets you, it's midway through the page, in the music area, that you listen in live as well, right there through the website. So you can always take us with you, or you can download the app on the Google Play. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, music and shows much like this one. where we talk about comics and other geekery. There's also some really cool radio dramas on there too. It came from the radio, has a program on there. Supersonic Pod Comics has content on there, and more stuff coming very, very soon. I promise. I can't talk about some of it yet because one content got something, and I can't talk about it yet, but I will. You guys will know about it soon. If radio is not your thing, though, IndieVolt TV, and can we get a new graphic, please?
That's entirely up to you.
This graphic is old, and I need a new graphic. Get on it, team. It's my job now. Okay. IndieVolt TV on Roku and Roku enabled devices. It's free. We're streaming movies and other content like long form videos, especially when YouTube gets mad at us about one of these Livewire episodes. Since we can't have it up, we take it off and put it on there. There's some exclusive content up there, some wrestling, a lot of movies, independent movies.
Did you get Shotgun Samurai on there yet?
No, I haven't got Shotgun Samurai on there yet.
You gotta follow up with him, get that on there.
Yeah, we're gonna work that out. That'll be up there soon, I promise. And that's pretty much it, guys. I want to thank you all for joining us. Thanks to our
well, how about asking Eric where he can be found?
Oh, I didn't ask you. Oh,
yeah, I didn't get to say goodbye, and Randy hasn't gotten to say goodbye, and
no,
you're just in a hurry to leave.
You just gave your spiel, and you were getting ready to shut us out.
Yeah, not for you guys. I'm just kidding. No, Dread Dinosaur, where can you be found at, sir?
I am at Dreaded Dinosaur on all the social medias. I'm on minds.com, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Facebook, you can find my Facebook page. You can check me out at erichodson.com, ERIKHODSON. Buy some of my terrific wrestling art prints. Help me pay the rent. And please head over to Webtoon. Check out Dreaded Dinosaur, man. I'm working on a new strip now. I just finished inking it today, and I'll be starting the colors tomorrow to continue that chapter before I launch my IndieGoGo book. And speaking of IndieGoGo books, yep, I did Roddy Piper Kilted Avenger. You can still get that on ProWrestlingTees.com. So check that out, please.
Buy stuff. Buy it now.
And don't forget, Eric also comes back on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time here on the IndieVolt Radio Network for It Came From Webtoons, along with Varian Grant there, as they talk about things you can find or digital comics you can find mostly on Webtoons. There he pulls up some great artists that you may not be aware of and talk about their work. So please stop back in Monday nights, 9 p.m. IndieVolt Radio Network.
Yeah, and speaking of coming back, you're going to be back on Thursday and Sunday for a couple of shows, aren't you?
Thursday morning, it's Breakfast Buzz at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where Varian and I talk about comics and stuff. And then Sunday morning, I do a show called the Sunday Funnies, where we try to talk about the more lighthearted and whimsical side of comics, the fun side of comics, the not so serious side of comics. And you never know where that conversation's going to go. In fact, if not this weekend, then the weekend after, we're going to have a very special episode where co-host Daphne Lage will actually sit and talk to one of the legends of comics and underground comics. You do not want to miss it.
Yeah, I'm
it's
excited.
Sunday Funnies at 9 a.m. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I'm popping in for a very short time on that particular episode. I'm not going to be on it, but just to say hi. My name is Varian. Can you say my name at least once so that?
Well, I told Daphne that she can handle the interview. I'll just.
Who is it? Who is it? Is this a secret? Is this a secret?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. No, actually, it's going to be Trina Robbins.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of hers. So, Daphne's got that one. She's going to handle that.
At the forefront, she's done comics at every level that you can imagine. She's done merchandising tie-ins. She did Wonder Woman miniseries for DC. She's done underground books. She was in with the underground scene when it first started up. She's done a lot of things, and it's going to be I can't wait to listen to the interview.
And if anybody's a good interview, it'll because it wouldn't be me. I'm not a very good interviewer. I talk about myself. But speaking of me,
I told Daphne I'd probably just sit there and stumble over my words a little bit, but she's really eager to do it. So, and it can't wait.
And don't forget,
I'll probably sit there and do this a lot.
Ring, hitting the bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't forget how you can find me at KYD_V on Twitter, as well as our varying ground on most social medias. LEDG.US. If you want to get your independent comic in comic book stores across the nation, Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group got a lot of exciting things coming out of Liberty very soon, which we're excited to talk about. I can't talk about them now, but a lot of exciting stuff. So we're really pumped for that. LEDG.US. Head over there. Don't forget.
There's more people signing up with Liberty, both retailers and comic companies, to get their work distributed through all the time. And Arrow Comics will be distributed through Liberty as well, available for retailers. All they have to do is get on the Liberty site and sign up for an account.
Yeah, it's a bit different type of distribution, but it's very creator friendly. It's I had someone tell me, so it's like what is they said it was like Extra Lunch Money, which is one of those girly sites where they can request their money anytime they wanted to. You can do that at Liberty. You can request your payout anytime.
Your lunch money.
Yeah, you can request anytime you want to. So that's one thing that we do. It's a little bit different, and there's a lot.
And hey, folks, if you want to get a hold of me, I'm on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. I'm on Twitter under Randy Zim. You can look for me on Facebook under the Arrow Comics 4.0 page, or on YouTube under Arrow Comics 4.0, where I will be putting up videos here very shortly. I'm right in the middle of a commercial job right now. As soon as that's done, I plan on putting up at least one, if not a number of videos over on that site. So we're all getting ramped up for the Indie Volt Revolt campaign, which will be starting here at the beginning of March. And that's going to be a fantastic anthology book with a lot of the creatives that we've had here on the program. It's going to be a portfolio book of collection of short stories, beginning, middle, and ends, not something that you have to know a huge history about any individual IP, but great little short stories by a group of folks that you've heard here on the Indie Volt Radio Network doing their very best work. Between the covers right now, we're looking at 120 pages. It will be a black and white book. We can't wait to bring it to you. It's going to be a flip book. We'll have a choice of a couple of different covers for you, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. There'll be more news for that coming soon here on the radio, as well as on the Facebook page and the Arrow Comics 4.0 web or YouTube site.
And that's it for us here today. Working on a couple other exciting things. Probably bringing back Art of War very soon.
Good.
As a monthly show here on the network, monthly. So we'll see how that works. Because we got a bunch of stuff we still haven't given away yet. So we got to get that done. Mark, Ted, Eric, thank you guys for being here with us this week. We really appreciate it. Check out all these guys' comics. They're exceptionally well done comics. Much better than what I put out. But then I don't put out anything.
Raptor, he had to check out early, so that link's in the description.
Yeah, Raptor, that link will be in the description as well. Thank you for joining us, guys. We really appreciate it. I will begin to take us out of here. Here we go. See you guys later.
Take care, everybody. Stay healthy. See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Think about what you've accomplished.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.